All right, everybody, welcome back. You ready to jump into another deep dive?
Oh, absolutely. I love these.
Yeah, and this one comes from you guys, actually, from the listeners.
Yeah.
We've had a ton of requests for this one, and we've been putting it off for a while.
Really?
But I think it's time to finally tackle this one.
I think so too.
The 1985 World Snooker Championship final.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Davis versus Dennis Taylor.
What a match.
Buckle up, because this one goes down to the wire.
Absolutely a nail biter.
So Steve Davis, I mean, where do we even begin with Steve Davis?
Well, I mean, he was the world #1 at the time.
Right.
Dominant force in snooker, you know?
Yeah, he was known as like the Nugget or something like that, right?
Yeah, interesting. Steve Davis, not really known for his charisma, I guess you could say, but boy, could he play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talk about precision and consistency.
Absolutely.
And just like an intimidating mental strength.
Yeah. I think a lot of his opponents were beaten before they even stepped up to the table. Just by his presence and his reputation.
It's got to be scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's the guy like that.
Especially when he's in the zone, you know, when he starts building those big breaks.
Yeah.
It's like a machine out there just racking up the points.
So why was he so good? I mean, what?
Well, he was a master of break building.
Okay.
That's where you pot one ball after another and keep the break going.
Yeah.
And he was incredibly tactical.
Okay.
You know, he would think several shots ahead. He'd always know where the white ball was going to end up.
Right.
And he just had this amazing ability to control the table.
I see.
And just wear his opponents down.
So it sounds like he was very, strategic.
Very strategic, yeah.
Not necessarily the most exciting player to watch.
Not always the flashiest, no.
But effective.
Incredibly effective, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he was world #1 for so long.
And then you have Dennis Taylor, a completely different player.
A complete contrast, yeah.
Yeah. What would you say were his kind of defining characteristics?
He was a real character.
Okay.
Very flamboyant.
Okay.
Always had a smile on his face.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, and those big upside-down glasses.
Yeah.
But beneath that sort of playful exterior, he was a fierce competitor.
Oh, baby.
A real fighter.
Okay.
You know, he was never afraid to go for the difficult shots. Mm-hmm. And he had a knack for pulling off the spectacular when it mattered most.
I see.
So he was known for his comebacks.
Right.
You know, he'd often find himself behind in matches, but he never gave up.
I see. So he was more of like a high-risk, high-reward kind of player.
I'd say so, yeah. Well, Davis was all about minimizing mistakes.
Right.
Taylor was willing to take those risks.
Yeah.
Go for the spectacular.
Got it.
Even if it meant a higher chance of failure.
Okay.
But I think that made him a very dangerous opponent.
And unpredictable, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You never knew what he was going to do.
And that could really throw off his opponents.
So how did these two contrasting styles clash in the final?
Well, it was a real back and forth affair.
Okay.
Davis took an early lead.
Okay.
As you might expect, you know, playing that very steady, controlled game of his.
Yep.
But Taylor never let him get too far ahead.
There we go.
And he started mounting one of his trademark comebacks.
I see.
The tension in the crucible.
Oh, man.
Must have been unbelievable as they went frame for frame, and they ended up tied at 17 frames. Oh, wow.
So it went all the way down.
To a final frame decider.
Wow. That's incredible.
With the world championship on the line.
Talk about pressure.
Yeah, you can't get much more pressure than that.
So set the scene for us. What happened in that final frame?
Well, it came down to the final black ball.
Good.
The scores were level, and Davis had a chance to win it.
Okay.
But he missed a relatively straightforward black. Yeah, he left over the pocket.
Oh, wow.
And it was Taylor's turn.
So what happened?
Well, he stepped up.
Yeah.
With the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Right.
And calmly potted the black.
No way.
To win the world championship.
That's amazing.
Yeah, one of the most iconic moments in snooker history.
So Davis chokes under pressure.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he choked.
Okay.
But he certainly didn't play his best shot.
Okay.
And Taylor, you know, he showed incredible nerve to pot that final black.
Yeah, that's got to be so much pressure.
It's the kind of moment that can make or break a career.
And Taylor just stays calm, cool, and collected.
He did, yeah. He seemed almost unfazed by the pressure.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable, really.
So, I mean, what do you think was the key to Taylor's victory? I mean, was it just that one shot, or was it something more?
Well, I think it was a combination of factors.
Yeah.
First of all, Taylor was just a fantastic player in his own right. He had all the shots. He could play attacking snooker. He could play defensive snooker.
Right.
And he was a great tactician.
Good.
But I think what really set him apart in this final was his mental strength.
Right.
His resilience.
Okay.
His ability to stay calm under pressure.
Yeah, and I guess his ability to take risks, to go for those shots.
Yeah, when they mattered most.
Right.
He was fearless.
Okay.
Whereas Davis, I think, may have been a little bit intimidated.
By Taylor's comeback.
By the occasion, perhaps.
Yeah,
by the fact that he was expected to win.
So it's interesting, because Davis was known as this like mental giant.
Yeah.
And Taylor was always the underdog.
Yes.
And yet in this final, it seemed like the roles were reversed.
In a way they were, yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor was the one who held his nerve.
Right.
And Davis was the one who faltered.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
Absolutely.
So what can we learn from this match? I mean, what are the takeaways for us mere mortals?
Well, I think there are a few things. First of all, I think it shows that even the greatest champions are human.
Right.
They can make mistakes. They can feel the pressure. And sometimes they can crack.
Yeah.
So I think that's encouraging for the rest of us.
Yeah.
It means that no matter how good someone is,
Right.
they're not invincible.
Yeah.
They can be beaten.
Right.
And I think the second takeaway is that mental strength is just as important as physical skill.
Or tactical skill.
Yeah, in any field.
Yeah.
Whether it's sports or business or anything else.
Right.
Your ability to stay calm,
Right.
to focus,
Right.
to make good decisions under pressure,
Yeah.
that can be okay between success and failure.
Right.
So I think this match is a great reminder of that.
Yeah.
And finally, I think it's a testament to the power of resilience.
Okay.
Taylor never gave up.
Right.
Even when he was behind,
Yeah.
he kept fighting.
Yeah.
He kept believing in himself. And in the end, he was rewarded for his efforts.
Yeah. What a story.
It's an inspiring story.
It is. And before we wrap up, is there anything else you wanna touch on about this match, or?
Well, I think it's interesting to think about Taylor's demeanor
Yeah.
during the match.
Yeah. He was very relaxed, wasn't he?
He was smiling,
Yeah.
chatting with the audience.
Yeah.
It's like he was just enjoying himself out there.
Yeah.
And I think that might have played a role in his victory.
Okay. How so?
Well, I think it might have unnerved Davis.
Yeah.
Davis was used to playing opponents
right.
who were tense and nervous,
Yeah.
who were intimidated by him.
Yeah.
But Taylor wasn't like that.
Right.
He was just so relaxed and confident.
Yeah.
And I think that might have thrown Davis off his game a little bit.
I see.
It's like he didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah. So almost like a psychological advantage.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
And it's something to think about. When you're facing a challenge,
Yeah.
sometimes the best way to approach it is to just relax and be yourself.
Right.
And, who knows?
Yeah.
It might just give you that little edge that you need.
Yeah. Don't let them see you sweat. Right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that was amazing.
What a match.
What a deep dive
Absolutely.
into the 1985 World Snooker Championship final.
One for the ages.
Yeah. So listeners out there, what do you think?
Yeah.
Was Taylor's relaxed demeanor a deliberate tactic, or was it just his personality?
I'd love to know your thoughts.
Yeah. Let us know.
Look us up on social media.
Leave a comment down below.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you.